Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again. So today we're doing the half bodice pattern, and I'm making it very easy because of our beginners. So I'm working with a shoulder of 15 inches and half of the shoulder is 7.5, so I'm marking my 7.5. So now I'll be taking the measurement downwards. I'm working with the bust points of 10 inches for today, and you see bust points are actually different, so you have to be sure which bust points you're working with. So for this tutorial, I'm working with 10 inches bust point, 13 inches on the bust, and 16 inches for half length. So I'm going to be placing the circumference. First of all, I'm going to be marking it so that you'll be able to understand because of our beginners here. So I'll be marking it. So that is my bust point, that is my under bust, and that is my half length. Now I'm going to be placing the circumference. The bust point for the bust, the circumference I'm working with today is 36 inches. So when I divide it by 4, I'll have 9 inches. For the under bust, I'll be working with 33 inches. When I divide it by 4, I have 8.25. So I'm marking my 8.25. So for the half length, I'll be working with 34. And 34 divided by 4, I have 8.5. So I'll be marking my 8.5. Now I'm going to be marking and joining the lines together. So I'm going to make sure that part is curvy. Like, okay, first of all, I'm going to be joining all the lines because of our beginners. That's why I'm going to be making it very clear. So I'll be joining all the lines so that we know it will be very easy for them to understand, for the beginners to understand. So right now I'm going to be shaping that part. There's no part of the body that is sharp now, so I'm going to be shaping that part. Now for the shoulder, I'll be coming down by 1 inches. For the female body slope, shoulder slope, I'll be coming down by 1 inches. This is for women. For children it differs. So I'm going to be taking the 3 inches by 3 inches, which is the standard neck point for a medium-sized person. If you're going for somebody on a very large size, it's going to be 3.5 by 3.5. So this is actually for a medium-sized person. So it's 3 inches by 3 inches. So I'll be taking my curve. So the next thing I'm doing is to connect the slope to the neck point. Okay, guys. So I'm going to be placing my armhole now, and if you want to get the armhole, it's going to be 36, which is the bust measurement, divided by 6 plus 1.5. I'm using 1.5 because it's going to be a sleeve. I'm making a pattern for a sleeve, so I'm going to be marking my total there, which is 7.5. Now I'm going to be rolling it downwards. Okay guys, so I'm going to be marking it there right now. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to get okay, I'm going to be marking my line there. That particular line you're seeing now is the chest line. Where your armhole stops is the armhole line stops is your chest line. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to be finding the half of my armhole depth. So now I've marked the half of it. That is where I'm going to be taking my curve, placing my roller curve, my French curve to get the curve. That is actually a guideline to get the curve. However, we're going to be getting, the first I'm going to be doing now is to get the we're going to be shaping the armhole. That is why I came in by half of an inch. This half of an inch is specifically for medium to large, and parts of small anyway. But if you are going to be doing for an extra large person, you do 0.25. If it's going to be a very extra person, you do not bother. Just don't worry about shaping the armhole. So now I'm going to be placing my curve around there. You can see how I placed it. That is how to get the armhole curve. Now this particular one is for the front. Now I'm going to be placing the armhole, the French curve again, to get the back. This time around, the back does not need any elimination. So what I just do is I'm just going to be placing it straight. Now this one I'm doing is for the back. because I'm trying to draft the both on one pattern. Okay guys, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is replacing my darts. Now to get your dart is your nipple to nipple, from the left nipple to the right nipple to get your dart, and this person's dart is 7.5. So when I divide by 7.5, because this is a fold, I'll be dividing 7.5 by 2, so I'll be placing it what I have there. Now because this particular pattern, I'll be adding 0.5 because this particular pattern, I'm not going to be cutting it. Is the basic pattern, we're not going to be cutting, so we're going to be adding 0.5, which is going to be the seam allowance when joining it. If you do not do that, your pattern, that area will become relatively small, so you have to add 0.5 when you're making the basic. Now I'm going to be making, from that point to that place, I'm going to be marking my 1/2 inch left and right on both sides, because I want to get that distance. Now when we come to the bust point, I'll be coming down by 1/2 inch. The reason why I did that is because the reason for the dart is to give a fullness around the bust area. If you put it at the bust point, you have forfeited the reason why you have a dart. So it has to be 0.5 inches below your bust point or 1 inch, depending on the size of the bust you're working with. So because it's a medium size, that is the reason why I am doing 0.5. Now I'm going to be marking my dart lines. Okay guys, I'll be marking my dart lines, and I'm marking my dart leg or my dart distance. It depends on what you understand it. If you do not understand this area, please drop your questions in the comment section, and I will do that as soon as I can. If not, if you feel a bit confused around there, just drop your question and I'll answer it when I can. Okay guys, so this particular pattern, I won't be adding any seam allowance because I'll be adding it on the dress. I won't be adding any seam allowance. So now guys, let's do the back neck depth. Now the back neck depth, we're going to be using 1.5. I'll be marking it straight on this pattern because I want to use this pattern to trace out the back. So marking it 1.5 inches. That is the back neck depth, and I've just created my curve right now. So that is the back neck depth. Now I'm going to be labeling it. That is the back and this is the front for easy understanding. Okay guys, this is it. I'm not adding any seam allowance, so I'm just going to be cutting it out. I'll be watched properly. I'm cutting out the back. I'm cutting out the armhole for the back first because I want to use this pattern to create the back. So that is why I'm cutting out the back first. Now I'm going to be cutting the neck for the back first of all, so that we can use this pattern to trace out the back. Okay guys, so we're using this pattern now to trace out the back. Okay guys, this is it right now. So for the back, I've rolled out my starting line. I want to have like about 1/2 inch. I prefer having an 1/2 inch starting line in case I need to do any alteration or anything. I just always have to do that. So from there now, from my starting line, I'm going to be marking 2 inches for my zipper allowance. This 2 inches is because of our beginners. That is why I'm using 2 inches, because I'm making this video specifically for beginners. If you're a professional, you can do 1.5, but for our beginners, I will advise you to start with 2 inches first before you understand how to really work on the pattern. So I'll be placing the front pattern from the zipper line, and I'm going to be tracing out the back. Now this is it. So I've traced out the back. I'm now going to be marking all the points so that we can have a good line to work with. Okay, we're going to be rolling them out so that it will be visible enough for us to work with. That is half length, that is our under bust, and that is our bust point. Okay guys, let's do the darts for the back. Remember how we got the darts for the front, so we're going to be marking the same for the back. Now when we get for the back, we're going to be going 1 inch above from the bust point. When you're making the darts for the back, you go 1 inch above from the dots from the bust point. Now we're going to be rolling our darts. Guys, hope you understood it up to this point. Please don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and do not forget to like my page. Do not forget to support my page by liking it and also sharing it. Thank you guys. So now I'm marking our dart leg, and I'll be connecting it. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be coming down to the zipper side. We're going to be doing the elimination. If you have watched my basic bodice for a dress, for a gown, you understand why I'm doing this elimination. So we're going to be coming in by ½ inch from the zipper side, and I'll be connecting it. When you are placing your ruler, just place it in a way that will be comfortable with. It has to get above the chest line but will not get the neck point, so you have to place it in a comfortable way. And now we're going to be rolling. Now this is our new zipper line. This is our new, we're going to be coming in by 2 inch there. From the new zipper line, we'll be coming in by 2 inches, and we're going to be connecting all the way. So guys, this is the new zipper line, and this is a new and real zipper line that zipper allowance that you'll be working with. So we'll be cutting out the excess to avoid any confusion. We're taking that out first. So guys, this is our new zipper allowance. We're going to be connecting it straight from the neck point straight. Okay, we're cutting it out right now. Like I said, this pattern does not have a seam allowance. When I want to use it, I'll be placing on my fabric. That's when I'll place the seam allowance. So this pattern actually does not have a seam allowance. When you are using it, please do not forget to put your seam allowance. Very important. Your 2 inches seam allowance. Very, very important. Okay guys, one more elimination. We're going to be eliminating from the zipper side also, to avoid the bulging that comes from the waistline when you sew your zip. If you have watched my pattern for gown, you will see where I did that elimination, and the gown is actually different from the half length. For the gown, we do a slash and spread, but for the half length, we have to cut it out. So all this will help you to make your bodies very flat and perfect for the size that you're working on. So now we're going to be connecting from that part to the zip to the half dart, and now you're going to be connecting it straight. So please do not connect it slanted. Make sure you go straight. If you do not do that, you have a problem around that area. So guys, yeah, this is it. This is all you need to do for the half length pattern for the pattern drafting. So guys, this is the back and this is the front. So lastly, we're going to be taking out the armhole for the front. I just labeled it the front, and that part is on a fold except otherwise, and that is the back, and that part is also on the fold. So this is actually a basic bodice. So now we'll be cutting out the armhole for the front. Also, we'll cut out the neck point area also. So we'll cut out the neck. So guys, this is it. This is just the basic. From this pattern, you can alter this pattern to get several designs and patterns that you want to make. But this is the basic and the foundation of upper bodice. So now you're going to be adding your seam allowance on your fabric. Don't forget to add your seam allowance. For beginners, around the armhole, I usually advise 1 inches, and then after doing everything, you can now shape it out, especially when you're making African prints. Then for the shoulder, you add your 1/2 inch. For the neck area, you add your 1/2 inch. That area is a fold, so you don't need to add anything. For the lower part, remember to add your 1/2 inch. For the sides, remember to add your 2 inches or 1.5. It depends on what you are working with. And do not forget, if you don't do that, you're not going to have any allowance to work with. So with this pattern, you can do a peplum. You can do whatever you want to do. For the half bodice, you can do a peplum. You can add any. So guys, if you have watched up to this point, please don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye bye.